Evening, everyone, and welcome back to yet another live video. Of course, going to be going over the Carlisle game, doing player ratings, etc. And then, of course, getting into the Bradford game. Of course, Hughes coming up against Barton. Of course, Barton's former manager at Man City. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well anyway. Thanks for tuning in again. If you are new, then do subscribe. We've just hit 4,200 as well. So really appreciate everyone that supports, tunes in, watches the reactions, etc. So yeah, keep smashing the like if you enjoy it. If we can get close to 30, 40 likes on the live, that'd be quality. And also I want to say thanks, of course, for everyone that donated last week. I managed to raise 350 in the end. There was a late donation on Sunday evening. Of course, I was knackered. Yeah, and then of course traveled all that way to see us get beat. But yeah, appreciate everyone that donated, of course, and yeah, keep up the amazing support. I've also got a code here if anyone wants to download FanHub and get into the app. Free use is remaining, so feel free to use that. But yeah, thanks for the continued support. Really do appreciate it. Say even into a few people, even into Dave Thatcher, even into Wayne as well, Matt's as well, even into you. Even into Gibson as well. Here he is. Tilton Bar here. Hello, Aino Geezer. I hope you're well, mate. Appreciate you tuning in. Even into Creeper as well, saying evening, lads. But yeah, of course, smash the like button if you enjoy. Of course, joined by Neil. Benji was working in London today, so he won't be getting back till late. But yeah, of course, gonna get into it. Where do we start really? Of course, first of all, gonna start. Of course, there was two changes. I was that tired when I seen the lineup that I didn't realise that Evans was out of the squad as well. I only seen that Nick Anderton, of course, the ex-Carlisle captain, went in the squad. But two changes: Whelan and Nicholson in for the injured Anderton and Evans. What was your thoughts on the lineup first? What did you make of it when you first seen it?
I mean, with the changes that had to be made, like if they're necessary, then when I saw it, I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't have a problem with it. If it was for me, I'd have. I say it loads about Harry Anderson. I keep him high. I don't care about where you fit him in holes. And that he can play multiple positions, but he's just too big of a threat for us going forward to drop him back there. Like especially when you've got someone like Trevor Clark. That's what I'd have done anyway. Like before the kickoff, that's what I'd have done personally. Is left Harry Anderson high and put Trevor Clark in there.
Yeah, I agree.
And sat Sammy Nick out of it. But it wasn't. I didn't look at it and have my head in my hands thinking this is terrible. Like we're going to get done here. Yeah. Still an acceptable side.
Yeah. I agree. I was a bit. Yes, it's just frustrating because obviously we've got Trevor Clark. I know he hasn't played much and he's been out with a lot of injuries, but he's been in the matchday squad for the last four games, I think. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, to get obviously match fitness, you need to play. And of course, because we haven't got the under 23s anymore that you can play games, that's a bit frustrating. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he's wasted at left back, really, especially when, no fault to Nicholson. He hasn't played for a month. And, it's always going to take him, time to get up to speed. Even into a few more people as well, even into Yasan Cornish as well. Good to see you at the game, and quite a few other people come up. A lot of Geordie and Liverpool gas out there, and they come up to me and said that they watch it. So good to meet some people out there as well. Even into fake name as well, even in Dudes UGG. Matt's saying, did the ref at the weekend at time on for... no, that was just a joke. Me and Neil was just talking about it backstage. Yeah, it was an absolute shambles. But yeah, even into Riley as well. Yeah, Gibson saying Evans is out till Easter, so only the next two. Still, obviously, we'll get into what we thought of the game and the ratings, but it's still only 2 games is still a big miss, even though Evans has sort of been playing in deeper. I think it's still a big miss because we lacked a lot of creativity, and especially the three in midfield. What I thought, of course, is only opinions, but I thought the three in midfield, we just sat far too deep, really. because then when Collins got the ball, he didn't have any options. Mr. Tapman, even to you as well. If we didn't beat Carlisle last night, then Robbie Stockdale would have been sat. Yeah, big win for Rochdale. Well, last Saturday was my first and last lasagna for lunch. Matt is also saying Harry Anderson should have stayed on the right and provide what he can do best for the team. Yeah, I mean, of course, getting on to the first half, Neil, what was your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I wasn't there, was I? So like watching it through the telly is a completely different scenario. So my sort of view on it's a bit diluted compared to whoever was there watching it. But I mean, for me, I didn't think it was all that bad. It was pretty nip and tuck. You could see Carlisle were they were a confident, enthusiastic side. They fancied themselves. But I know we had a couple of like minor scares and that, but that's no different to any game. We do call on Belly regarding whoever we play. He has saves to make. That's just how we play. I don't think it was too dissimilar to a lot of first halves that we've had, to be honest. So going in at the break, 0-0, they probably did edge it. They probably did edge it, but we do what we always do, really, is we get it and we try and move it and we try and be patient and wait for the opening. And that frustrates the hell out of a lot of people, to be honest, because they want us to be blood, guts and thunder, all the way through from kickoff. But I thought we were pretty measured in what we were trying to do. We were aware Carlisle were a side on form. Like I said, they were enthusiastic, they were confident, they knew what they were trying to get at and what they were trying to do. But I didn't go in at half-time thinking, Christ, we're really under the cosh here. This is going to be a problem second half. I was pretty content. I mean, we've gone in at 0-0 a fair few times this season, and we've normally been able to sort of edge it and manage it to go the way we want it to go, sort of thing. But going at half-time, I didn't have a problem with it. The first half wasn't wonderful, but it wasn't tragic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was interesting. Like you said, we didn't. Of course, I think we had the first shot on target was late in the half through Elliot Anderson. Of course, that was, I think, the only thing. To be fair, I thought they done well on Elliot Anderson. They were doubling up every time. He managed to get past them a few times, but we didn't really have anyone else. Nicholson obviously didn't do the best on the ball. And then, like I said before, we had, the three in midfield. None of them went forward. I thought at least Sam Finley would get more up there when we had the ball. But I just thought we took too long when we did get the ball to get it forward and, to try and create. But to be fair, you do have to give credit for Carlisle as well. I thought they set up well, sort of the three centre backs and then the wing backs, and then obviously when they got back really quickly and they broke quickly as well. And I thought we did struggle at times to see and defend at times, but like you said, even though they had a few chances, it wasn't nothing major as well. Corleo, even to you as well, is it going to be? Yeah, it looks like it. I think we've only got just over 1,000 or something like that I seen on Twitter earlier. So yeah, I know the platform's sold out. I'm not actually in the platform this weekend. My brother's using my season ticket, and I'm actually in the south stand because they give us, when I done the sleep out the other night, they give us a free ticket, a comp, and it's in the south stand. So that's only the second time I'm going to be going in there as well. At least they battled at the end to get the equaliser. I felt listening something might happen. Yeah, evening to Matt Bray as well. Evening live. My old man's coming Saturday. Been over 2 years due to various unfortunate things. Can't wait. After 26 years of walk out together, it's going to be good to have him back. Bring on Sparky. Yeah, good to see him back, and appreciate tuning in. Even into Tom as well. It should be a sellout on Saturday. Already has the platform. And yeah, exactly. I regularly listen to away games at St Andrews Park. What's St Andrews? I don't have a clue. Got a free ticket, expected to be in the Thatchers, but it's that Bristol Post family stand. Oh yeah, that's the one that's getting pulled down on it and moved. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm in the opposite. I'm in the south stand, but yeah, I mean, of course, going into the second half. Yeah, what did you make of it? Did it like for you? Like, I want to bring up another thing as well. what was your thoughts? Because it seemed for me, I don't know what it seemed for everyone else. Of course, keep getting your comments in and let us know. But for me, I'm surprised that how many times we give the ball away on Saturday. Because it looked like loads of times we were just sloppy. I think that's probably the word to sum our performance up was sloppy, because we give the ball away so many times. But yeah, what was your thoughts on that and the second half performance in general?
I think the ball retention thing comes from, again, I'll go back to Harry Anderson. He's a good out ball for you see, because you can get him, you can get the ball in front of him, and he can get motoring on and commit players. When you're just trying to move the ball, shorten the game up and go between the three that we've got, and you've got no real out ball to get to, it gets a little bit predictable. So you've got to be really, really precise in what you're doing with the ball, sort of thing. And I think it just got a little bit sticky in there for us. I mean, Finley, he looked like a frustrated man all day, like just watching it from where I was. He looked really irritated, frustrated. Nothing was coming off for him. Nothing was going right. It just wasn't going our way. And I just think the game as a whole, like whether it be before the goal going in or after, I thought the game was it was on a tightrope, and we was either going to fall one side of it or we weren't. And it just happened to go Carlisle's way for me. I just think, I mean, the goal itself, he's run us ragged pretty for long periods in the final third, that Amari Patrick, because he goes everywhere.
Yeah.
He didn't really have a set position where a man can say, like, when he gets into the final third, you pick him up, because he was drifting all over.
Yeah, he's drifting everywhere. Yeah.
So
it's so easy they want it. That I don't know.
When it goes out there on the byline, Luca Hall has done pretty much everything you shouldn't do when he gets there. He's fronted him up on the touchline by the corner flag. He's ambled out to him. He's bang upright. He's not jockeyed him. He's not shown him either way. And he's basically screamed, just do me. Just take me on. And his reaction's terrible to him going by him. When Patrick's picked the man out in the middle, Elliot Anderson, to his credit, has done all he could to get in front of him. But because he's coming at the rate of knots, the guy's just shifted his body, got it across. Connolly's done brilliant to block the initial one. Once that happens, it's a lottery of who picks up the second ball, and the lads just reacted quicker and smashed it home, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we've been like this for a while, I think, Rovers, really, where it's vital that we score first, because if we don't, we've got a mountain to climb, because we're not one of these sides that can go and get 3 and 4 just like that. We've got to work really hard for our goals when we do get them. But when we get one, we manage games out really well. When we tend to nick another one, whether it be picking a side off when they're committed, or our ball retention's been that good that we move it and kill them with, just moving them, and they're knackered, and we manage to nick another one. But if anything, that game there, that sort of circumstances still screams that we are still in the market for a proper number 9, as well as Colin's done, as good as he is, as well as he's adapted to playing that role. I think that sort of completes us as a side. If we get an out and out solid 20 goal man who's just an out and out number 9, doesn't really do a lot else, but if he can sniff around that box and when balls drop to him and he can sniff out a chance, put it away, we'll be a proper top 3 side then. I just think that's the missing link for us. And that sort of scenario in that game Saturday, where it was on a tightrope, it went their way. I still thought we might be able to nick one, we might be able to get some out of this game, but I never look at that when we go 1-0 down as our side and think, we'll turn this round easy. I think we might get 1, but to say, we're going to get 2.5 an hour, I thought we're just not that sort of side, really. I thought what Joey did as far as the subs were good. They were positive. He tried to make the change. He tried to inject something into us to get there. Again, as the game goes on, I'm thinking you've got to just shift Harry Anderson up there now. His goal record's been good of late. He's great on one-on-one situations, and we're going to commit aside and getting a get forward. That's where we want him. He went another direction, but I'm not going to dig it out too much. At the end of the day, they were attacking strong subs, and on another day, that one in the last sort of couple of minutes, Saunders pokes it home on another day. But they probably did edge it. For me, Carlisle, you can't complain. They probably did edge it, but again, I think we are a solid, decent number 9 away from being a proper side.
Yeah, I agree. Evening to Rob Jones as well. Appreciate you tuning in. Evening, lads. Evening to Jacksford as well, who are up the gas. Hope you're well. Yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in. Please do hit the like button if you are enjoying it. It really does help out the channel on the algorithm of it as well. So, yeah, just appreciate the support as always. But yeah, I agree. I mean, we talked about that, didn't we? We've talked about a lot of games this season where it's always dodgy when we concede the first goal. I think a lot of the times this season when we've conceded the first goal, we've lost and drew. I can't remember. Of course, Bradford, the other game where we drew 2, we'll get into that in a bit. But again, that was only one of the few times where we've conceded first and then actually drew the game. Even into Chiz as well. I hope you're well. Appreciate you tuning in. And to Juan as well. Evening, guys. UTG. But yeah, it was, and obviously when you're 1-0 down as well, we haven't really got, you look at the bench and it's, you're bringing on Thomas, who of course he had a chance. I know it was on his right foot and the keeper made a save, but you haven't really got much hope of when our bench as it is, and Loft hasn't obviously done the best, but he's been out injured. Leon Clark, can do a bit in the air, but didn't we were missing it a bit. You can't win every game, but obviously it's always disappointing when you lose. Of course, going through sort of ratings as we do, what was your? I think there ain't really much bad to say about Balshaw. He was pretty solid, wasn't he, overall, and he couldn't do nothing about the goal.
No, he's made good stops again Saturday at 0-0. But you sort of come to expect it of him now. That's belly for this. People will say, oh well, we were lucky to be in it, because it could have got away from us. But he's been doing that all season. Like, that's just how we play. We do concede chances like that. They do happen. As defensively as good as we've been, we still do call on belly every single game, no matter if we're playing a bottom 2 side or a top 2 side. That's just how we sort of play. We do concede chances and we do ask him to make them stops. But it didn't surprise me that he saved them. Do you know what I mean? It's just we just come to expect it now. That happens in games for us. Watching Rovers, we can see chances like that where we do call him to make big stops.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on Luca Hall's overall performance? Obviously, we talked about the goal, but what did you make of him? Do you think it was just a poor day overall for everyone, and including him?
I just don't think he was. He just wasn't at his best. He wasn't terrible. You know what I mean? The goal is, he's got a lot to answer for there for the way that the goal's gone in and where it's come from. But ultimately, you look at him as over the course of a season, as a 19-year-old lad, he's done great, and so I'm not bashing him too much for that. But I don't think he had his best day. I think Patrick tried to play on him as much as he could. I think he saw a bit of success there. I mean, I've seen people say like they thought that we looked tired and leggy. I didn't see that personally. I didn't think we did look that bad. I didn't think we did look tired or leggy. We looked frustrated, and we looked a little bit indifferent. We weren't great, but again, you're not going to be playing against Stevenage every week. Sometimes you're going to meet a side that really, really fancy their chances and really want to match you and think they can get the better of you, and you've got to deal with that. But the goal itself, like with Luca Hall, it looked like he was fronting up someone that he didn't think he was going to get the better of. It just looked like, this guy's going to beat me and I've just got to accept it. But he just wasn't intense enough when he gets there, to get low, jockey him, send him one way like he normally does. It just sort of ambled out there, was upright, looked pretty lethargic. And when he got round him, it was like, well, I thought he was going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't his best. It wasn't his best day, but I look at it again afterwards. You look at how the tables panned out, what's happened after the game. There's no real big damage done. And it wasn't one of those performances where you think, fucking hell, going into Bradford, we're going to struggle here. It's just one of them games. It just fell the wrong side of the line for us. That was all.
Yeah, I agree. What was your thoughts on Taylor? Like, for me, I thought he was good, to be fair. He won a lot of battles. And yeah, I thought he was solid again, really, Taylor. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with us as far as our centre half. I never really do, to be honest. And I know we got beat 1-0, but it wasn't like that we was getting carved open. There was miles out of position. They was off it. No one was getting picked up, etc. Centre halves are fine for me. Like I said, even the goal, Connolly's absolutely thrown himself in front of the ball like he always does. And then it's about other people doing their bit to try and pick up the seconds. And 90% of the time we do that, but just Saturday it got away from us and it dropped lovely for him and he smashed it home. But yeah, as far as both of our centre halves, didn't have a problem with them.
Yeah, I agree. I thought, to be fair, only a little bit, but I thought, Connolly did get a few bits of play where he kicked out our play, but you're not always going to come off, especially as a young, what was it, 19, 20. But yeah, overall, pretty solid again, really. Obviously, we talked about Harry Anderson. I thought overall he was solid, but again, like we've both said, he's just absolutely wasted at left back. I would have rather, I'd have rather him chucked Trevor Clark in there. I hope, obviously, we'll get onto lineups in a bit, but I hope if Anderson isn't fit, I hope Trevor Clark plays left back and Harry Anderson is pushed onto one of the wings, because we really, like you said, we really miss him. He's been on good form, scoring goals. He can take players away with the ball. He can hold it, etc. So, yeah. What was your thoughts on Whelan coming in? Of course, hasn't started loads of games. I think the last start he had was Barrow, if I'm not mistaken. What was your thoughts on him? I mean, for me personally, I just thought he just got outrun most of the game. Of course, he passes the ball there. You're not really expecting much because 38-year-old Whelan. But yeah, he just got outrun for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much you can demand of Glenn Whelan at the end of the day. He is what he is, and he does what he does, and what he does really well. But the things that you will get out of him is good ball retention, good decision making, and he'll look to win the ball back as soon as we lose it. And I can't really dig anyone out for saying they had an absolutely stinking game. It's just one of them where we just fell the wrong sideline. I firmly believe that if we'd have dealt with the second ball or on the goal that they scored, if we'd have gone 1-0 up, I think we'd have gone and won it. I just think it was that fine a game. I think if we'd have gone 1-0 up, it really fancy us to go and win it. And then you're not talking about these players not playing so great. There's real fine margins, really, really fine margins on this. But I didn't have a problem with Whelan. Like, again, going into Bradford, I'm thinking, oh, gosh, you can't play him because you got beat 1-0 and, he's 39 and all the rest of it. I thought he was all right. You know what I mean? It was all right. We just didn't get the rubber to green. But if you look at how we've been going since Christmas, every now and then we do get the rubber to green. So it's just one of them, you just wipe your mouth and move on.
Yeah, I agree. Even to Kai as well, saying evening, Charlie Neil, hope you're well. Appreciate you tuning in. What was your thoughts on? Well, pretty much we've touched on Finley. Like we both said, he just looked frustrated. I think, like you said, a lot of the stuff didn't come off. Bit sloppy, but you can't really say he's been class really the whole season. And they're not going to be amazing. Every single game. They're League Two. We're in League Two. So, but yeah, hopefully he can get back to his best. What was your thoughts on Coots? I to be fair, I thought Coots done really well. For me, I've seen a lot. It's obviously it's different, and it's all opinions. But I thought he played really well, Coots. To be honest.
Yeah, I did as well. I did, like I said, you can go through this whole side, and I can't really dig anyone out for being terrible. But it's easy to say it when you're winning about Coots, but what Coots will give you, like we lost Saturday, but what Coots will always give you is he'll always try and do the right things. He'll set the standard. He'll run hard. He'll demand the same as what he gives from others, and he'll stick to our guns. We won't, just because we go 1-0 down or we're not on top for a certain amount of time. We don't deviate away from doing anything else that we know that we do. We don't go long. We don't just bung it in channels to try and turn sides round at 0-0. He sets good examples, Coots. And again, like, it's easy to say it when you're winning games, but we didn't win Saturday, but he still did it at the end of the day, And I go back to when we win games. You look at someone like Coots at the final whistle. He's not interested too much in the celebrations because he knows exactly where we are in the league. He knows exactly what work we've got done. He'll clap us in the stands and he'll get himself down that tunnel because he knows there's work to done. He doesn't lap nothing up. He gets it, Coots. You know what I mean? And again, I guarantee you in that change room on Saturday, there won't be no head in hands. There won't be no that desperate disappointment. He's been here. He's seen it. He's done it. He just knows it's just a little bump in the road, but it could all turn around again Saturday.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, the biggest thing you get from Coots is good examples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and you can sort of tell. He's not one of these. He's not on social media either, is he? He's just gets it done. You know, if there's a blip, he'll get everyone, you know, rolled up again and just get back and go again. Really. What was your thoughts? Obviously, I know we briefly talked about Nicholson, but what was your thoughts? Do you think it was just? Do you think it was too early to throw him back in, especially after being a month out, or what do you think of this game?
It's again, it's another one, isn't it? Got beat, so it's easy to throw that one out there and say so. But I mean, his stats and his data of what he's getting, of everything that's being recorded in training, will tell you that he is fit and ready to play. So I never buy into that one. It's an easy one to say, oh, we got beat, and so Sammy Nick came back too early. If we'd have won that 1-0, it wouldn't even be a talking point.
Yeah.
He probably did run himself into the ground. He didn't get a lot of success, you know. He tried to find angles, openings. It just didn't really come up for any of our attacking lads, really, on Saturday. But I thought dragging him was probably the right idea, because we had to inject a bit of life into what we were trying to do to go plan B and find another option and make their defenders have another set of questions to ask by having different people out there. I didn't have a problem with him being dragged. I probably thought it was the right idea, to be honest.
Yeah. And of course, finally, what was your? Of course, I know you said, you know, we need a big number 9, etc. But what was your thoughts on Collins? Do you think it was just mostly because, of course, they played? I think it was always going to be tough anyway, because 5 at the back, pretty much had 3 centre backs on him all game. Didn't have enough support in you know, with midfielders pushing up and maybe giving him, you know, something to get off. What was your thoughts on Collins?
He's fed on scraps a little bit, really. It's not like he's missed an full of chances and you're pointing the finger at him. I mean, again, like I've said about Coots, what you get from him is good examples from Coots, but what you definitely get from Collins is a shift. He'll always run hard for you. If it's not going his way, he'll try and make something happen. He'll try and affect something or to make it go his way. It was just going to be few and far between it was going to happen for him, really, on Saturday, because you could see, like, as the game was going on, it was becoming less and less obvious that them sort of chances were going to present themselves to him. But going back to sort of Carlisle, I thought Asimio was good for him. I thought he was decent as far as looking after his back line, and then obviously coming out with the ball and trying to get him up the pitch. He looked like a decent player, that kid, to be honest. I thought he was a plus for them. Yeah,
I agree. I thought he done well. To be fair, I thought a lot of them played pretty well, to be fair. Carlisle. Kai saying good to see DC back. Yeah, I was seeing that today. Yeah, it is good to see him back. Of course, he comes back only 2 weeks before we play Port Vale. I think it's Tranmere next week, and then obviously Port Vale on the Easter after, I believe. So, yeah, of course he comes, and they're, you know, doing well. Also, of course, got a game in hand on us as well, and are above us. But yeah, going to be a big game, that, and of course, yeah, DC returns. Evening to Vaughan as well. Appreciate you tuning in and supporting as always. Keep smashing the like button as well if you're enjoying it. Do hit the like button. And of course, if you are new, do subscribe. Keep getting your thoughts in. But yeah, good to see you back as well. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much, you know, gone over that. Of course, the big game, Bradford this week. Of course, Barton versus Mark Hughes is going to be a very interesting one. Of course, it was the old Plymouth manager and old Morecambe manager before he returned about just over a month ago. Of course, Derek Adams was there. He was there when we played them as well in the last game. But yeah, Mark Hughes has been in there for 6 games currently. Been pretty inconsistent. I think they've got 3 losses, 2 wins, and a draw. As you can see, their last 5 drew 0-0 in Newport on the weekend at home. Lost 2-1 at home to Port Vale. Beat Hartlepool and Forest Green 2-0 away from home back-to-back. So that the last 2 wins away from home, as you can see there, 4 goals, 2 clean sheets, and then lost 2 into Swindon. 7 points out of 15 currently for them. Of course, Rovers still on the same before, 12 points out of 15. The only loss coming on the weekend just gone, of course. 3 clean sheets as well in the last 4 before that as well. So hopefully we can get back to winning ways. Of course, another big game. We need to get back to winning ways. Of course, in the league table as well, Bradford are currently 14th. As you can see by their results, they've been basically inconsistent. Sums them up this season. 14 draws, 14 losses, and 11 wins. currently 16 points behind Rovers on 47. Of course, Rovers did drop down to 6th, but level on points with quite a few teams. I know some teams have got games in hand, but we've got a big run in to go. Of course, tough, next few fixtures as well coming up. Of course, Bradford, and then we got Tranmere away, Salford at home, Port Vale away, Forest Green at home. So, yeah, big sort of last 7 games, really. But yeah, as you can see, 16 points ahead of Bradford. But they have come in with us with 2 away wins in the last 2 games. Of course, the last meeting, 6th of October, Bradford 2, Rovers 2, Vernon and Cook scoring for them, and Kilgore and the Port Pie Pele scoring for us, of course. They went 1-0 up pretty early, and then after half-time, Kilgore equalised, and then literally a minute later, the first attack, Cook got them back on level. Peggins, and then Brett Pittman with a 90th minute winner. What a header as well that was, of course. Evans getting 2 assists as well. As you can see there, though, 4-2-3-1 was our lineup. Belshaw, Hall, Taylor, Kilgore, Anderton at the back, Coots and Whelan sitting. Harry Anderson on the right, Evans in the cam. Evans on the left, Collins in cam, and Saunders was up front. But then, of course, Saunders went off early. Port Pie Pele come on as well, and, of course, managed to get the equaliser. What was your thoughts on that game? I remember, because this was, I think, one of the only 4 or 5 away games I didn't go to. I was listening to this game, but I remember they had so many chances for, especially first half. A lot of them, to be fair, were blocked shots and went wide. I think in the end it was 4 shots on target for either side. But yeah, what was your thoughts on that game? I don't know if you watched it on iFollow, etc., but what can you remember from that game?
It was a typical, October, November sort of Rovers performance, to be honest. It was a typical one of our first halves that we had back then, where we just weren't in it. We just weren't in it. I do remember us being pinned in for a long period of time, and we didn't really look like we was going to get out. And when we did get out, we didn't look desperately threatening first half. But I mean, it was at that point in the season where you was just watching it going, I've got no idea what's going to happen here. I don't know if we could nick this and win it, because we've heard these players are decent and we're going to get better and we're going to get going eventually, or we're going to get battered and it's going to be the same old story where we, get done in one of these 3-1 games that seem to happen to us. It was a lottery. Like October, sort of November, watching Rovers was a lottery at that point. And first half, I just remember going in at halftime thinking, well, at least we've not been battered, Yeah.
I agree. It was pretty much all them, like you said. Of course, managed to get out in the end, of course, from a set piece as well. We haven't scored many from set pieces, maybe 3 or 4 this season, but of course, Kilgore getting the equaliser, and then, again, Evans, remember, like I said, getting 2 assists, great ball over, and then what a header from Pittman to get the goal, and managed to get a very good point in the end. I think at that time in the season, they were doing well as well. They had a good home record. Like you said, that at that stage, it was either mostly it was either a loss or, like you said, 3-1 losses. But luckily, we managed to stay in the game and, of course, get a good point in the end. And like you said, at that stage, we were doing poor. We, you never knew what was going to happen. Barton was like, I think that was when I might have been Bond was Sunni, because I remember that thing on Twitter when we scored and Bond and Barton were going absolutely mental. But in the end, it was a good point as well. Tom saying we're winning 7 out of 7. Fake name saying, I hope Charles Vernon has an off game. He can be a real handful. I remember he was very dangerous in that game, and of course got his goal. But one thing I'm going to bring up as well, I checked this before we went live, is that basically the last 3 games, I think, Hughes has been experimenting a lot, because they're not going to get playoffs, and the last 3 games they've played 3 different formations, which is very interesting to see. So when Barton ain't going to have a clue, well, even for us really, I know the last sort of 10 games we've played sort of a 4-3-3, but with them they played a 4-1-4-1, away to Hartlepool when they won 2-0. They played a 4-2-3-1 against Port Vale at home. And then on the draw against Newport on the weekend, they played a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So it's a very interesting way that, you know, he's been going about it. Like I said, because he's new and why, you know, they're not going to get playoffs, you know, why not? So it's going to be interesting to see how they do set up on the weekend. Of course, looking at the last 5 games, like I said, 2 wins, and then they lost to Oldham, beat Stevenage 1-0, and lost 2-0 to Harrogate. As you can see there, away form, you know, pretty inconsistent as well. But like I said, they've won the last 2. But Rovers' home form has been very, very good. Fingers crossed we can keep it going. 9 home games unbeaten currently. The last loss coming on the 7th of December against Port Vale, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But as you can see, the last 5, beat Colchester 1-0, beat Harrogate 3-0, beat Barrow 1-0, drew with Exeter 1-1, and beat Sutton as well 2-0. So 4 clean sheets out of the last 5. Hopefully, we can keep the form going, of course. And yes, it's an interesting one, really. It sets it up quite nicely. Of course, it's a big game. Kai saying, why don't you do one Rovers vlog merchandise? I might do. I'm not really. I know a lot of people do that, but I'm not. I don't think people should, you know, pay. You know, of course, if they wanted to, if I'd done one, but I don't think that's right, really. I think just people should just enjoy the channel and whatever. But maybe, or my re-upload of that video, Barton and Bond at Bradford has 881 views. One of my top 5 videos, I think. Yeah, it was really good. Even to Kane as well. Kane saying, "I'll be there in the away end. Good luck." Yeah, fair play for making the trip down. Yeah, he's saying good luck. Appreciate it. Yeah, good luck to you after the game. Of course, hopefully we can get back to winning ways. But of course, get on to formations as well, and also Kane as well. Let me know what formation you've and what team you would play in the comments below for Bradford. What do you think Hughes will do? But yeah, we're getting to lineups now as well. Of course, we don't know if Evans. I think Gibson said earlier that he's maybe back after Easter, which is the next 2 games, but he might be back earlier. We don't know. And of course, Anderson. But if they are back, what would you do? Would you keep the same team that we've had over the past few weeks before that, with the same back 4, Coots, Finley, Evans, and then Harry Anderson, Elliot Anderson, and Collins, or of course, if they are out, what team would you go with? Who would you pick?
If they're available, I think you go with it, because continuity is the key, really. They've got us to where we are. We're not playing Saturday, Tuesday anymore. They can rest up and give them a good free through the week to get them right for the last 7. Yeah, I think you go with what you deem to be your best side at the minute, and that is basically what has got us to success of late. If not, then I'll probably go Collins up top, Harry and Elliot either side, and Coots wheeling as a screen, and Finley just in front of that. Not necessarily, like I said, not necessarily in a hole, just with license to go and join in when we get there, because I've never been a fan of us as a side playing our hand too early with all this attacking threat. I'd rather just drip feed it into the game as it goes, be nice and solid, secure, work the ball, keep that ball retention. If we get a lead, then great. Try and do what we do brilliantly at the minute, which is not concede at all very often. You know, our clean sheet record's been unreal. And then as the game goes on, as sides are chasing, trying to get it back, you start drip feeding that attacking threat in to try and either get a second, get our noses in front. But I'd play it like that, to be honest, if they were missing. Just have that solid, secure centre of midfield. No one necessarily in the hole. Just give Finley the license to go and join in. Let the 2 Andersons do the damage with Collins at the top.
Yeah, so I mean, who would be your? I'm guessing just put Trevor Clark in left back then as well.
If Anderton isn't fit, if Anderton's fit, you play him. But if Abbott isn't fit, yeah, I put Trevor Clark back in there because I've got no interest in playing Harry Anderson as a fullback, whether it be left or right. It just is acceptable he is to play there. We just lose so much of him going forward.
Yeah, I completely agree. Kane saying I would play the same team. We battered Newport. Our finishing is just poor. So yeah, that's interesting. Of course, let us know in the comments if both of them are injured. Let us know what lineup you would play for Rovers. Do you agree what Neil's saying, or let us know your starting 11 for Saturday if Anderton and Evans aren't fit. Mats is going with a 4-2-3-1. Belshaw, Hall, Taylor, Conley, Trevor Clark, Coots, Finley, Harry Anderson, Elliot Anderson, Nicholson, Collins. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's pretty interesting. Get to the comment as well, even into Ford and Blue. Even in lads, the Gas defeat last week looks like it's taking a toll on Neil, or is it just ball lighting? Bags under the eyes.
I'm going to make a.
Yeah, keep smashing the like button as well if you are enjoying. If you haven't hit the like button as well, and if you are new, please do subscribe. Fake name saying, I hope we can get Nolan fit and involved. You can unlock defenses and score good goals. Yeah, I think like we talked about, it would be good to see him back fit more, but of course he played that 20-minute role at Newport away, and then we haven't seen him since. So just getting full fitness for next season, whatever league we're in. Hopefully League One, but you never know. But yeah, for me, it's an interesting one, really. Of course, you keep Belshaw in goal, Hall right back, Taylor, Conley centre back. Of course, if Anderton's not fit, Trevor Clark for me would be really frustrating if Barton plays Harry Anderson there again. It really would, because he's just wasted there. So yeah, Trevor Clark, left back, midfield. I would play. Part of me wants to say play Coots and Finley is the two holding, and then Elliot Anderson in Cam, which is his normal position. He is obviously been good as a winger, but his normal position is a Cam, and then play Nicholson on the right. Nicholson on the right, Harry Anderson on the left, and then Collins up top. But then who do you bring off the bench? If we're not doing that well, would you bring on, Thomas or whatever? So I'd probably just edge it and agree with you, Neil. I think play Coots and Whelan as the set in, Finley just in front, and then Harry Anderson on the right, Elliot Anderson on the left, and then Collins up front. Leave Nicholson to come off the bench. So yeah, that would be my lineup. Of course, let us know in the comments what would you do. Of course, Kane Wilkinson would leave the same as Bradford did on the weekend, and of course, Mats has gone with the first formation and team that I said as well. But yeah, let us know as well. And yeah, of course, get into score predictions now as well. Make sure you let us know in the comments. Get all your score predictions down. Let us know what you would do. Ford and Blue saying, I've got a really bad feeling about Saturday. Fair Hughes will use Barton's comments like Clark did to motivate them further. Hope I'm wrong, of course. Charlie, is it true you've had your haircut at B&Q? Cheers for the channel. Does it look that bad? Kai saying Bradford have been hit and miss. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we talked about it, 3 losses, 2 wins, and a draw in Hughes' first 6 games. But yeah, let us know your score predictions. Get them down below. Neil, what are you going for? Are you feeling confident? What do you think for Saturday?
You don't know. These are the worst for me in my experience. These are always the worst games to sort of tackle, to be honest, because they're in no man's land now. Bradford, they ain't going to go up and they ain't going to go down, so they can come on Saturday and do what the hell they like. You've got nothing in your head to say this is what they're going to do, and they're going to be strict at doing it because they're looking to either drag themselves away from relegation or get themselves into a promotion spot. They're just basically going to tinker around now, and they can afford to experiment, and it's sort of a free hit for them. And they're the worst games sort of to play in against because you've got no clue what's coming. They're going to be free-willed. They're going to have no weight on their shoulders. They're just going to go and play, and all the pressure is going to be on us. When you're playing against sort of a top 3, top 7 side or a side that's scrapping for their life, you know exactly what you're up against. We've got no idea what's coming on Saturday because Bradford can do what the hell they like, and they've sort of shown it with the way they've tinkered with their systems of late because they know they're going nowhere until the end of the season. I expect they'll probably play. They're going to continue with a back four. That's probably the only one.
Yeah, that's the only thing we know, really.
You do know with Sonogo will be sat in there. I really like the look of that Elliot Watt as a holding midfielder. I think he's a really
young Scottish kiddie.
Nice, tidy player, to be honest. I think if you let him wander and let him dictate play, he could get a lot of success. Evans, Gareth Evans, really sort of wily old fox. If things are going well for him, he'll look to do what we do as far as game manage, kill the game, get it niggly, stop, start, etc. Because they're not asked. They'll do something completely off the cuff if they want Bradford because they've got nothing to play for. And then they'll have Cook up top, who, from what I remember the first game, it was that sort of time where Taylor didn't really have a great month against really big lads. He played against sort of 2 or 3 big lads on the spin and didn't really get a great lot of success against them. And Cook was one of them.
And also in the past as well, he's done pretty well against us as well. He's a strange player because he looks like he's miles overweight, but he's such a good striker.
Isn't he? He's perfect in the division. He's never going to play any higher. If he played for a side in League 2 that got up, they'd come and play for another League 2 side. They wouldn't keep him. I just think I don't think it's going to be as pleasant as what some people think that they are looking at the table, because it's a complete unknown with Bradford. When you have to play these sort of sides that are in the middle of nowhere with the season petering out, they're a free hit and they can come and play how they want and do what they want and take chances. I'll say 1-0, just through more luck than judgment, because, like I said, it's a free hit for Bradford. You don't know what they're going to come with and what they're going to do. I'll go 1-0. I'll get back to clean sheets.
1-0. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Of course, keep leaving your score predictions in the comments. We've got four predictions down. Keep getting your predictions down in the comments. Let us know. Are you feeling confident? Are you not feeling confident? Go for a few now. Matt's has gone for Rovers 2, Bradford City 0. Kane Wilkinson, the Bradford fan, has gone Rovers 2, Bradford 2. Fake name has gone 2-1 Gas. Hope we can handle the pressure of the running. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all on us now as well, because it's an interesting one. Like you said, you just don't know. Rolled off, all their different formations, 3 different formations they've tried in the last 3 games, and by all accounts as well, they've done very well against Newport as well, just couldn't finish. But you just don't know. And it's, of course, probably going to be a sellout as well. So all the pressure's on us again. I still don't have a clue. I'll do my predictions in a sec. But fake name's gone 2-1. Wayne Clark has also gone 2-1 Rovers. Kane Wilkinson saying Elliot has more confidence since Hughes came in. Yeah, he looks good, Elliot. I think he's 20, 21. He does look a good player. And of course, saying since Hughes has come in, he's looked a lot more better and more confidence in his own game. Beersy Tom, 4-0 Gas, Collins Hattie, Conley header. I hope so. I'd love that. Big up Chris as well. Of course, Carlisle's fan. Of course, losing the other night, and you went as well. But appreciate you tuning in. Of course, you got the win against us. Big up the panel. Sorry I'm late. No worries at all. Appreciate you just tuning in. Of course, keep smashing the like button as well, guys, if you haven't already. Riley's gone 3-1 Rovers. Pretty confident. Chris has gone for the same as you, Neil. 1-0 Rovers. For me, I'm not sure. I'm going to go 2-1 Rovers. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but a lot of the time we've beaten Bradford 2-1. So I'm going to say 2-1, especially at home games. I remember there's been a lot of good games with Bradford. Most of them in League One, where we're both in League One. I'll say 2-1. I'll say Elliot Anderson and Collins with the goals. Vaughan saying concerns of Gas scoring goals 1-1. Rob Jones is going with Nils 1-0, but all the games on the run, and it's going to have to be ugly wins up the Gas. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. A very, very tough run. But yeah, keep getting in your predictions if you haven't already. I mean, yeah, what would be your goal scorer, Neil, for your one goal?
Ryan Loft.
Ryan Loft. Love to see it.
Every week now for the last 7 games, it's going to be Loft. That's what we get from me.
Yeah. Chris saying we used all our energy to beat Rovers. We look like cars broke down at Rochdale. Yeah, I've seen your post and your comment you put on. Yeah. Kai saying 2-1 Rovers. Fingers crossed, gone for the same as mine. Mats is going Harry Anderson and Aaron Collins to score. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, we obviously, as it says in the video, back to winning ways, ? Hopefully. Jack's Ford saying 1-0 Gas as well, going with same as you, Neil. And trust me, Cootsy stuffs one in the back of the net this time. You've been saying that for the last month. I think he's only got 1 goal this season. That was a penalty away at Peterborough in the FA Cup. Kai saying nil if he scored. If Loft scores, you need to go bold.
All out in the
Lucky shorts for the Bradford. Well, I had my lucky shorts on at Carlisle and we lost, so I think I'll probably be wearing it. Well, it depends on the weather, actually. If it's tipping down like it is right now in Bristol, then yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to end it now. Appreciate everyone that tuned in again. Of course, I know a lot of people watch on the live. Of course, if you do watch it back, give us your predictions down in the comments below. Let us know your starting 11 as well if Tony Evans and Anderton aren't fit. Also, if you want to see any other different videos, let me know. Either leave a comment after this video in the comments. Let me know, or message me on Twitter or Instagram. Let me know. I want to get more video ideas. Of course, it's quite annoying now. Apart from the Easter weekend, we've only got 1 game a week. So yeah, let me know for any other video ideas as well in the comments down below after the video's ended. But yeah, appreciate Neil again for tuning in. Of course, Neil going for a 1-0, I'm going for a 2-1. So hopefully we can just get the win. Back to winning ways. It would be nice. Kai saying it's raining and Tom saying cheers, lads, anytime. Yeah. So yeah, appreciate all of you that tuned in. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't already. And yeah, appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video, which will be the match reaction on Saturday. Hopefully a Rovers win up the Gas.